Hello everyone, welcome back to more of The Sims 4. This is episode 50, and not only that, it is the final episode of this Sims series. Everyone's just heading to bed, it's getting late on this Tuesday night in the second Jalfonso house, but the main one that we've been around with for most of the series. I don't know what on earth Charlotte was doing then, but there you go. And yeah, we're going to be wrapping things up in this final episode. Obviously, it's not entirely the end because we are going into a new spin-off with Daniel and a few new faces, which I'm hoping you're all excited for. But this main series, I think, is time to call it a day. 50 episodes is a damn good run. It's taken over a year and a half to get to this point as well. And it just, you don't want to do a long-running thing like this for too long because it would be hard for people to then get into it if they've discovered it a bit late. And I just feel like the stories I'd still want to tell with Sims maybe we can't quite do with some of these characters. So all good things come to an end. Here we are with the final episode, and we'll see how this little adventure ends, but a few new ones potentially kicking off as well. And speaking of the spin-off that we've got coming up, which will be starting pretty soon after this series concludes, The Sims 4 Supernatural it's called. And yeah, as I mentioned, it's all about Daniel, of course, Rocco and Willow's son, as he kind of delves into the world of the supernatural, given his latest new interests. And yeah, we're going to be meeting some new faces in it, some familiar faces I'm sure will be popping up from time to time. But yeah, it's a really exciting thing. I've been working hard on planning it out. It's going to be very story driven. It's not going to necessarily always be like, oh, I'm just going to see what happens this episode kind of thing. I do have some fun plans for it that I hope you guys are looking forward to, because I don't want to give up The Sims on my channel. So I'm glad I'm going to still be continuing it, even if this main series is coming to an end. And I have put something together, a little bit of a tease for what to expect from that series, which I was going to say for the end, but I probably will put it in around about now, just to not kind of ruin the ending, which probably should be focused on these guys and this story. So yeah, here's a little glimpse of The Sims 4 Supernatural. Okay, things happened very quickly then. I was going to give it a few minutes to prepare myself before I started talking again. But yeah, I hope you're looking forward to The Sims 4 Supernatural. In less exciting news, Flash has led a good life filled with bones, balls and barks, but it's now time to lay down and make his way to Big Dog Park in the Sky. I hadn't even given all my updates yet. And sadly, we already knew Flash became an elder a few episodes back, so he's actually passed away. Oh, I don't want to see all the dogs come down and see this. Guys, wake up, wake up. Tara's awake as well. Hopefully she won't come down and see it. But a little Flash. Looks very peaceful though, and he did have a great life with Charlotte and everything. Oh my god, Mango is here and Jay's ghost are both here to see this. They've come to you can come back with us now, it's okay. And little Honey actually aged up into an elder just before I started the episode, so things are kind of taking a turn. But that's crazy that Mango and Jay both appeared around this time to kind of, I guess, bring Flash into the afterlife with them. And there's old Grim. Oh god, this is sad. The pets really do get me on The Sims when they pass away. It doesn't happen that often for me. Look at everything that's broken. That's lovely. But poor little Flash. We took on a lot when we had all these dogs when Charlotte first moved in with us and everything, but they formed their own personalities, and I think they ended up being really cool dogs and really nice additions to the series. They provided some nice humour a lot of the time. But there we go, is this little Flash? Oh rest in peace, buddy. But there he is, this little Flash joining our other wonderful pets that we've had as the series has gone on. Oh, just look at all these people. So sad. And oh, and you've got fleas. This is just the worst. But I kind of like that at least like a ghost of a dog also appeared to kind of guide his friend home. So that's kind of nice in a way. But yeah, sadly, while Flash is no longer with us, he's going to be running around having fun with all the other pets that this series has had, and he had a very long, happy life here. I guess it starts off suitably with this episode, just getting the sense that things are really wrapping up here. Leo's just offering Charlotte some comfort, being like, I know how much you loved all these dogs and everything, but, you know, you gave them an amazing life, and I think they're very glad to have had such a wonderful owner as she's been. Leo's actually become flirty because he's utterly enamoured with someone nearby. He's utterly enamoured with Charlotte, and that's kind of changed his mood to stop him being sad. Meanwhile, Tara's still like, I am the backbone of this household. Like, can someone please help me? Oh my god, Jay's ghost made some French toast. He was like, well, these guys are in mourning. They're going to need some French toast to cheer them up. So, thanks, Jay. So while Charlotte is feeling very sad, one of her whims is to woohoo with Leo. So, still the same old Charlotte. Apollo's just out in the snow on his own. Just taking a moment away from all the drama in the house, all the tears and stuff. I feel like he's kind of sad knowing he's the only dog left now. But I also feel like Apollo's like, well, I'm getting on myself. I think Apollo's kind of getting ready, to be honest. Leo's like, oh, French toast. Where did that come from? I don't care. And then again, honey, absolute mood. Leo Huntington's long life is coming to an end. This would be a good time to get his affairs in order. Leo's had a really lovely kind of family that he's built around him. He's gone through a lot. We had a whole kind of spin-off about him when he went to uni when he was younger. His fair share of failed romances at uni, and then ultimately meeting Charlotte and everything. Finding a lot of peace in himself more recently as well, as he's known that his life is kind of starting to wrap up. Taking some time in his dad's chair over here. Maybe we'll have him come out and actually sit in there for a bit. Just contemplate things. There we go again, the chair that kind of resembled his dad a bit. Just taking that moment to reflect. Especially with, you know, losing some pets as well. He's still kind of dealing with the aftermath of Jay's and Rocco passing away. He knows time's running out. I think everyone does, but as you can see, he's happy. He's happy that he's renewed his vows, which happened in the last episode. He's happy to be warm. He's happy to be fed. He's just enjoying the little things in life, I think. He's just happy to have been alive at all. And it's better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all, as a famous quote says. Leo also wants to woohoo with Charlotte. They both want to woohoo with each other. Now, this is a risk. This could kill Leo, but they haven't got many more chances. So in true Charlotte and Leo fashion, why not? Okay, so if you could do me a favour, Leo, and not die just yet, that would be great, but enjoy. Oh, honey, no. No, what are you doing? No, no. Yeah, just distract yourself, pretend things aren't happening. Okay, he didn't die, good. But this is a good opportunity at least to kind of look at all these memories on the wall here. That's where Leo graduated uni. Look how young he was. Oh, and there's Leo with Jay. There's Leo and Willow. Leo and Alfonso. So many cool, wonderful memories. Yeah, I've been really proud of these characters in this series that we've kind of all built together. Let's look at more photos down here. There's obviously the painting Charlotte did of Jay. Some of the OG best friends in this series. We had Alfonso and Supriya, both obviously no longer with us. There's Willow and the dearly departed Rocco. I think that was the day they first started dating. It was at least quite early into their relationship. There's Leo and Willow again. There's Jay and Alfonso on their wedding day. And there's Leo and Jay when Jay got a bit older. Man. Yeah, I'm really fond of these guys. And I'm glad we kind of had such a blast doing this series. And I think, you know, it's only right that we did at least give them a decent conclusion, if nothing else. That's a very cool painting. I like that, Charlotte. Well done. So yeah, I'm glad I didn't just like stop when I was running out of room on my hard drive to actually record The Sims and everything, because it was hard for a while. There's also a time, if you remember, I actually like lost the save file and it took me ages to get it back. That was quite something. But these guys have been so much fun to play as and play with that I think they deserved an ending. Charlotte is mourning all her dogs. Bless her. But yeah, it's been such a fun ride with these guys. They deserve to have a decent ending to their story, and hopefully that's what they're going to get in this episode. Simon, not so much, because he just died, but still. Oh, Charlotte's giving Apollo a comforting hug. Oh my god. That was so wholesome. Again, everyone's just kind of taking those moments, I think, to appreciate what they have around them right now, which I really, really love. Oh, and thanks, Apollo, for completely ruining that by pissing on the floor. Oh, it's a TV season premiere tomorrow. That's exciting. I always like that event. I think it's kind of fun. And then it's actually Tara and Charlotte's birthday in a few days. Charlotte has work in about an hour. Tara is back from school. I think she made some friends. What friend did you make? Hobart. So that's nice. She was still making some friends. I wonder what Tara will go on to do. I imagine we will see her in the spin-off, to be honest. I can't imagine her not at least making one appearance at some point. But I'm also kind of excited to like put her out into the world, see like if she marries anyone of her own accord, see what she may go on to do, where she goes on to live. I think that could be an exciting way of filling in the gaps in her story. But as you can see, she's still very young. She's gonna, I think she'll become a teenager in this episode. And yeah, maybe even age up again, I'm not sure. Definitely become a teenager though. So I'm looking forward to seeing what her life is going to kind of become. Okay, and we're also just going to pop into the house here as well to see how the Millards are getting on. Willow, as always, is busy on the computer, probably writing stuff away. She hasn't really been sharing her latest book with Daniel, though. But it probably would have been difficult to do that anyway, because he's been very preoccupied. It's hilarious how Buffy's gotten now, since he started working out all the time in the last episode. I might need to get him a new jacket, because it looks a bit weird on him now. But yeah, it would have been difficult probably to share her latest book with him anyway, because he's been busy kind of packing a few things up and to get ready to move in with Kai and his mysterious landlady, all the other tenants in this new house in the spin-off, which he's actually very, very excited for. But he's holding off on it just yet. He knows he has a place there that's secured. But I think the plan right now is for him to wait until the inevitable happens with Leo and Willow. That's why he's packing up stuff, like his stuff in this house. He's going to move out of this house and move into the Jalfonso house with Charlotte and Tara for a bit. And then when Charlotte also kind of passes on, he'll make sure to stay with Tara and kind of be her guardian until she's old enough to kind of look after the house on her own. That's when he'll actually move in with Kai and all that lot, which is when our spin-off will obviously begin. But for now, these two are just getting along like a house on fire, as they always do, just chatting about random things. They've had some wild adventures here, like discovering Glimmerbrook and everything, discovering the magical realm, seeing Daniel kind of grow up and really find himself here has been lovely. To see Willow become a fantastic author and sell loads of great books, done really well. Obviously, Rocco becoming a sorcerer and therefore an inspiration for Willow's best-selling series. Yeah, I'm really proud of these two as well. Especially, initially when I had like the idea for the spin-off, I wasn't actually going to include any of these characters. It was going to be completely new. But I grew really attached to Daniel in the last like 5-6 episodes. Before I really didn't know what to do with him, so I don't think he was in the episodes that much. But suddenly, it started to click with him, like some stories and stuff, and I feel like he really found himself. It's a very similar thing with Leo. I found like I didn't really know who Leo was when he was younger, and then we did the spin-off with him at uni. That's kind of why I did the spin-off around Leo, because I didn't really know him. And I grew really attached to him through that. I feel like the same's happened to Daniel recently, but you know, I've always loved Willow. She's named after one of my favourite fictional characters. So yeah, I'm very proud of these two and what they've managed to achieve in their lives, and we'll see what Daniel also goes on to do. But they're definitely one of my favourite bonds, I think, is the bond that these two have. I'm very glad we got the chance to see it in this series. Okay, Leo's just called Willow. They're just having a bit of a catch-up in the chat about things. Probably comforting him, obviously, because Flash passed away earlier today. Just providing some comfort about that. And they're kind of saying, you know, it really does... You just get that feeling, don't you, when it's nearly time. I'm kind of getting it, and I think Leo kind of shares that sentiment. And there's just that link between them that I think they just know each other so intrinsically well at this point, and of course they have another one of my favourite bonds that this series kind of produced. I think they just know it's both their times fairly soon. He's just kind of telling her now, oh yeah, everything's packed up, I'm ready to go. Looking forward to adventures ahead, and Willow again is just saying how proud she is of him. So yeah, she's kind of just watching her son kind of get all this stuff together, just really proud of him, really happy. I mean, she does look a bit tired there, doesn't she? Bless her. So yeah, she's super proud of the man Daniel's kind of grown up to be. She knows he's kind of happy with Bentley as well right now. And while she doesn't know the whole story with Daniel, oh, why have you fallen asleep in your parents' bed, Daniel? You have a bed right here. While she may not know the full story of what's been going on with him, it's still kind of an ignorance is bliss kind of thing in a way. I'm not sure Daniel wants to kind of burden Willow with the danger he could be getting into in his kind of, the last days of her life. Maybe a bit too much to burden on her, but look at that. It's the photo we discovered recently, which was very, very wholesome, of Willow and Rocco on their wedding day. So yeah, as you can see, he's packed up the photo that he already had here, of him and Bentley, and he's packed up the kind of magical aura potion that his dad made him. Lots of stuff like that. So yeah, these two are still very content with their lives right now, even if Willow, I think, again, is also kind of getting ready for the end. There we go, it's TV season premiere day, so they just need to watch the new show. That's all they need to do, fairly simple holiday. 6 a.m, Tara's like, yeah, wide awake. Why don't you... Can you watch it before school? Oh, you can. Let's just get everyone up and watch it together. Fun family thing, I suppose. Let's just say it's a very early morning show. Oh look, a dog using the dog bed. Finally. Only took 50 episodes. Ah, see, they're all enjoying it together. That's very, very wholesome. Again, another family I love. I'm so happy we had the addition of Charlotte, just bumping into her in the bar. And it kind of just worked so well with her character. I was like, oh well, I think she might be a good addition to the show. And I think it's safe to say it worked, because now we have Tara, who's awesome. You can see Leo like looking at his daughter there. He's like just enjoying her excitement. He's so proud of her, everything she's done. We know he's enamoured with Charlotte. We even got an emote for it earlier. Another wonderful family that I love to have around and to play as. Okay, they've all completed that, I think. Tara needs to go to school. Charlotte, get changed. Yeah, I think she's heading off. Yeah, she is. So she watched that show just in time. So day's achievements already done for that, which is good. And it was nice to see them have a nice family moment like that. Oh, that was a little photo we missed. Look, there's little Bentley when he was just a little kitten when we first got him. I think that's Jay's legs you can kind of see through. I don't know how we even got that photo, but I love it anyway. Lovely family photos that I'm sure Tara will kind of keep with her wherever she ends up going. If she stays here, if she just moves somewhere else, I'm not sure. But for the long term anyway, this house will ultimately be Tara's, and I'm sure she'll enjoy it. Obviously, the gym equipment we'll be giving to Daniel. He can use that. But yeah, let's see what Charlotte is painting. It's a soup can. Maybe the TV show she just watched, the premiere of that, inspired her. Maybe it was all about tuna. I don't know, but it's different. I'll give her that. I feel like it's kind of based off that famous baked beans artwork. Maybe. Kind of cool though, I like it. Oh hey, the snow pal's still about that Leo and Willow built together in their last episode. I like that that's still there. Look at these two. Still so flirty and everything even after all these years. Is there anything more flirty than chess? I'm not sure. Ooh, I know what's more flirty than chess. A payback scheme. For a week now, a kid has been taking Tara's chips, and today he took her brownie. Okay, that's just too far. It's time for Tara to take a stand. The way she sees it, there are two choices in kid law: public shaming or private revenge. What should we go for? I feel like private revenge seems like the smarter play for her. I feel like that's what Tara would do. So let's try that and see how it goes. The mean kid swipes Tara's brownie just as expected, but what the Billy won't be expecting is a brownie full of laxatives. Oh, unfortunately, before Tara can enjoy a self-satisfied chuckle, she sees the mean kid offer the brownie to the principal in an effort to suck up. Oh no. Okay, that did not go well. But the idea with laxatives in the brownies is hilarious. Where she got the laxatives, I want to know. That's kind of concerning. But still, kind of funny. And look, she plays chess with Leo, utterly enamoured by him, very flirty. Still flirty from renewing their vows. these two, the spark just never went out from the moment it was like set between them, and I love that. I think I've been really lucky with like the couples in this series. They've kind of just all slotted together, I think, very nicely. I've never tried to force anything. If it's happened, it's happened, I feel like. And if I get a sense that the people watching have enjoyed couples, I'll then explore them a bit more. Because, I wasn't sure if Daniel and Bentley should be a thing, but a few of you seemed keen for me to explore that, so we kind of did it. But yeah, I feel like these two, it just, from the get-go, I kind of knew, like, okay, yeah, this is a Leo's person. Leo was just taking another moment in his dad's chair, but then he was like, you know what, this is actually rather cold. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Oh, Charlotte's come out to join him, maybe? Yeah, well, that seems legit. It's on brand for those two. I think he just wanted a moment at the house, just like get a bit of fresh air as things wind down, and she just kind of came out to once again remind him how much she loves him. Tara is one of the top students at school, so well done, Tara. She's a bit tense from the whole laxative situation, but still. Could have gone worse. I don't think she got in trouble for it. But I have no doubt Tara's going to go on to do amazing things. Like, she is really, really clever. I think she might be the smartest sim we've had in this series, based on like how well she does at school and everything. I don't even really need to try to like force her to do well at school. It just happens. So I do feel like she's actually very clever. Leo, you are not taking after your father, goddammit. I don't think so. Your nephew's already getting a bit like this. I don't need you to put this stress on me already. Tara's just come in from playing outside, I think. She did just walk up to Leo. She's probably saying, oh, Dad, I like the snowman that you and Aunt Willow built. It's really good. Oh. And that was the last thing he ever heard. Leo Huntington has lived a long life, but his time has finally come. He's dying of old age. There he goes. Oh, Charlotte, where are you? She's coming over. Oh, God. Guys, that's it for Leo. Oh, Charlotte. Oh, that's so awful. I love that like, the last thing he heard was like a compliment from his daughter. I bet he loved that. Oh, God, look at everyone together. Oh, no. Leo, I've absolutely adored playing as you. You carry the whole spin-off on your own. You've had an incredible, incredible life. But what a story from the day he was born to the day he died. We kind of covered it all on this series. A wonderful, wonderful sim. It's very rare that I actually managed to stick with a sim for the entire duration of their life. But, these guys have been the exception. But, Leo, you've been wonderful the whole way, buddy. But he was ready, he was at peace, and I love that he just wanted to make sure, I think the last thing he heard from was his daughter, and he kind of achieved that. There he is. That is it for Leo. So in the other household, Daniel's just been on the phone to Charlotte. He's just heard the news. He's like, okay, I'll go and sit Mum down and tell her. She's just in the living room, so I'll go and get her. So he's like, Mum, I've got some bad news. But just as he walks in, he's seen that exactly at the same time as Leo. Willow's also kind of passed away. Those two have always been so incredibly linked. Is it something to do with them being aliens or whatever? I don't know. They've always been very in tune with each other. At exactly the same time. Neither of them knew about the other one, those two siblings. But Willow also must have sensed that it was time. So even just on the computer doing what she always did, she settled down and passed on herself. So that's the end of Willow as well. Another wonderful, wonderful sim I've loved playing as. I always kind of knew where she'd end up as an author, which was a big help to me in terms of telling a story. I just always had that intuition about what I wanted to do with Willow. And she is not disappointed. And I think it just feels right that her and Leo would go at around the same time. Those two twins entered the world at exactly the same time, and they left it at the same time too. So, yeah, obviously it's awful for Daniel, bless him. But she's at peace now, and there she goes. He's going to be taking Willow's grave so that he can put it with everyone else at the house. The Jalfonso house is obviously going to be a double blow for everyone. Losing both of the twins in the same day. But yeah, they kind of, I think they'd all start to prepare themselves for it. And of course it doesn't make it any easier, and this house suddenly feels very, very, very empty because it's just Daniel here. But he's now going to go and move in with Charlotte and Tara, kind of stay with them for a bit. But for now I think he's just going to miss his mum, and he's just going to miss his uncle. And after doing that, he actually found a book under his covers. And what was under there was a book that Willow had written, and it was what she was working on that she hadn't really told him about in her last few days. And it's called Dear Daniel, quality bestseller by Willow Millard. And it just says there, it's going to be all right, son, we love you. And she wrote it, her last book, knowing things were kind of coming to the end for her. She kind of just probably wrote down all their story together and their lives, a bit about her dad, a bit about her, a bit about him, the whole family, just as a reminder that everything's going to be all right. She never went and got it published or anything. It's the only copy in the world that she wrote just for her son. So I think Daniel will treasure that copy of Dear Daniel for the rest of his days. So he's going to take that with him, pack that away as well, and say goodbye to a house that doesn't quite feel so right anymore now that both his parents are no longer part of it, and head to the Jalfonso house where he'll stay for a bit longer. So Daniel is now in the house, and they just had a moment. I don't want to show it because it actually ended up being a lot sadder than I thought, the whole kind of sequence, but they did kind of bury Leo and Willow together. So there they are, two siblings reunited together. So while they weren't aware of each other actually passing in this world, I'm sure they're together again instantly in the next one, and I'm sure they're with their dads again. I'm sure Willow is with Rocker again. All those wonderful pets that we've had over the years back there as well, they're probably all together again. So I think in a way the people that they've left behind are still very jealous of all this lot because they can be together forever now. But yeah, two wonderful twins with wonderful stories that have been told. And yeah, they can just spend a pretty damn awesome forever together now. Okay, this is kind of crazy coincidence-wise, but in her sadness, Charlotte's actually kind of painted something, and she's painted people being abducted by aliens, which you cannot write. That's perfect. Like, you can't control what she paints. It's just like a random thing, exactly what the content of the painting will be. So the fact that she's actually drawn some alien abductions, which is kind of the MO of a lot of the Sims in this series, is really quite something. So there you go. That's hilarious. I actually feel like she'd give that to Daniel. I feel like he'd want to hang that up in his new home whenever he moves there. So I absolutely adore that painting. So there we go. There's Tara and Daniel just comforting each other. They've obviously both lost their parents today. It's going to be a tough time, but they're all going to get through it together. I can't imagine it's a very easy thing. Luckily, I haven't had to imagine losing a parent yet myself. But yeah, I'm glad that they still have at least some people around them to support them. I think it wouldn't have been good for Daniel to just stay alone in that house for sure. So Charlotte's just giving Daniel some comfort, just saying, you know, it couldn't have been more perfect for them. They wouldn't have wanted anything more from leaving this world than leaving at exactly the same time. It almost feels right, and it feels like it was always going to be that way. So these three, it's going to be a tough time for them, but they are going to get through it together, knowing that their loved ones are in a better place. Okay, Charlotte's painting another painting, Impressionism this time, just to kind of, I think it's her grief process. Daniel's grief process, as it has been the new norm for him, is just working out. Tara's actually feeling confident from interacting with aliens, so she's enjoying that. She's kind of certainly embracing that side. She's actually, yeah, she's kind of happy about finishing a holiday as well. So I feel like she's just cherishing that last moment with her dad, where they could watch that TV show, have fun with it together. And ultimately, I don't think it's really affected her actually being with him and actually seeing the moment he passed away, because it was just so peaceful and lovely. And she takes comfort in knowing that she saw it firsthand. She knows, oh, the fridge is broken, great. She knows he didn't feel any pain or anything. And she knows that Aunt Willow kind of went at the same time. Ooh, Charlotte's painting a cool like city landscape or something by the looks of it. I actually really like that. Her paintings in this episode have been fantastic. I mean, she wants to go out on a high, I guess. There you go, look at that. Oh, Daniel's crying in bed again. I mean, he's lost his mum and his uncle. It's not going to be easy. But Apollo's there to kind of provide a bit of comfort for him, which is lovely. And he's also going to mourn Flash. He didn't even know Flash all that well, but he's going to mourn the dogs. I guess he's kind of doing it on the other's behalf as well, to kind of, again, feel what they're going through. It's so sad how big this graveyard is now, isn't it? But it just means there's more people that we've loved and lost, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Oh, now Charlotte's just taking a moment to herself to mourn after Daniel came back inside. And again, Apollo is comforting her. That's so wholesome. Oh, he's just turned happy, and I was just going to get him to actually cook a birthday cake for both Charlotte and Tara tomorrow, because it's both their birthdays tomorrow. So maybe the thought of that is like, oh good, that's something good that we can focus on and enjoy. I mean, he's sad again now, but for a moment he was happy. So he's actually, because they're both the birthday girls tomorrow, he wanted to be the one to kind of make a cake for them. So he's going to get that ready just in case. Oh my god, Apollo! Oh no, in the bathroom where he liked licking puddles of all things. Again, Apollo was an old dog. We saw him getting ready to go, I think, as well in the last episode. Oh my god, like the timings on this. I honestly didn't plan for this many deaths. I was hoping Charlotte would have retired with at least one animal, but Jesus Christ, everyone look out for Honey. But there we go, Apollo, another dog who's lived a very long, happy life. He spent his last few moments comforting others about their own deaths. Probably like being like, well, you need to get ready because I'm kind of leaving soon as well. But I loved all of Charlotte's dogs eventually. It was a lot to start off with, but yeah, they all really became their own. Honey's there to kind of see her friend off. Tara's just gone to school, so I don't think she's aware of this, which is probably for the best because they've only just dealt with 2 devastating losses as it is. But yeah, that's the end of little Apollo, bless him. Another very, very good dog. Overall, I think we did get lucky with the pets we had in this series as well. Some of them can be little nightmares. And these guys were a lot, don't get me wrong, but obviously in their later years they slowed down quite a bit. Oh, there you are, buddy. So this is kind of cruel because Charlotte is currently mourning other people, but we've literally, while she's here, we need to add another grave to this gravestone. So that's kind of a little bit morbid. But there we go, there's little Apollo. So there's 5 pets buried here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other Sims. So, you know, a very large and sad gravesite, as you can see, but full of people that we've loved. Okay, these two are trying to like hang out a bit, cheer themselves up. So they're playing some video games together, which I think is very sweet. Just something to kind of get their minds away from everything and just enjoy each other's company. Tara's also distracting herself with the superhero doll she got. So that's another way of her kind of passing the time, taking her mind off things. But I think she's going to go to bed now. It's getting a bit late. Charlotte's actually already gone to bed. And it's very sad to see her sleeping alone in that bed. Because that guy's no longer with us. And Daniel is also asleep. He's in Alfonso and Jay's old bed. That's where he kind of is sleeping for the time being. Oh my god, Honey's running away again. Honey, no. Oh god, she's really sick and running away. That's not great. Okay, it's 8 AM on a Saturday, and it's also Tara and Charlotte's birthday, so that's cool that it fell on a Saturday. Pretty awesome. Just had a bit of breakfast. I think she's just staring at the cake like I really want that cake, which is fair. Daniel's still asleep. I think Charlotte's now up as well. She's kind of... Oh, I'm just going to cry it out again. Lots of bad stuff is happening, but I promise you these guys are going to come out on the other side of it. It doesn't help that Honey then ran away again. She did that a few episodes back, didn't she? Hopefully she will return fairly soon. We've sent out an alert, so people are keeping an eye out for her. Oh. Tara is talking. Ask if Honey's ever coming home. That's bloody sad. Oh my god, I wish I hadn't read that. I think Dan was just trying to reassure her. Like, of course she's going to come home. Oh my god, happy birthday to you, am I right? Okay, let's try and get some sort of celebration going here. I mean, it's not going to be much of a celebration, obviously, but Charlotte can blow out the candles on the cake first, because it is time for you to become an elder. And there we go. There is elderly Charlotte. Oh man, look at that. Right, and then add some birthday candles back. I appreciate that Daniel was at least trying to get a happy mood arriving here, because, you know, it's a rough time for people right now. So at least Daniel's trying. Right, Tara's also going to come over now, blow out her candles, and she's going to become a teenager, which I'm intrigued for. Oh yeah, and like we can give her a new kind of aspiration in life. I think she's going to go after knowledge, isn't she? She's very smart. I think she'd want to go to university, so let's give her that. And I think we give her the genius trait, because she is very clever. That's what they've given her as an automatic aging up. Oh, I think she's also ill. Oh my god, like they just will not give these people a break, will they? Now we can edit you and your mum. Okay, actually I've made Charlotte's hair quite long, so I feel like just in her old age, I don't know, I feel like she might grow it out a bit maybe. In terms of like her main outfit, oh my god, look at that sweater, that's quite something. Maybe not for you though, Charlotte. I think just like a simple jump like that would probably suit her down to the ground. I'm not going to change her other outfits because I think this is like the main one we're going to need. And then here is Teen Tara. Oh, I don't mind that look on you actually. Just natural what it's given you. Maybe we change your hair up now you're a teenager? What should we go for? I feel like maybe that kind of suits you a bit. You can definitely see a lot of Charlotte in her, that's for sure. She looks a lot like her mum. Yeah, I really liked the automatic look it kind of mainly gave her there. So I think that kind of it just seemed to fit her. So we're going to go for that as like Teen Tara. And there's the older Charlotte with her longer grown out hair. Nice. So yeah, these three just kind of hanging out, celebrating birthdays, everything like that. I think Tara might be a bit taller than Daniel now that she's a teen, which is quite funny given that Daniel's a young adult. And kind of like it when the Sims switches it up like that. But these two seem to be having a good laugh together, just maybe, reading each other's minds. That's fine. They're both aliens, it's okay. Okay, so this is interesting. I've just been doing some kind of research on this. I was wondering, like, when does Tara get her a human disguise? Turns out she actually can't have one because she's like a hybrid baby. If two aliens have a kid, that baby can have a human disguise. If people are abducted by aliens and impregnated that way, those children can also have alien disguises. But because Tara was the child of an alien and a human, she doesn't actually get a human disguise. So this is just her appearance, which I kind of like. And the fact that this society in The Sims now is kind of more knowledgeable and accepting of aliens, it's kind of cool that she can just be free like this for the rest of her life. So I really enjoy that. These guys are just going to chill, live together, work through their grief, hope that Honey comes home fairly soon as well. Because it is getting close now to Winterfest and then the New Year and everything. I think they're going to see out the rest of the year, try and have a good fun time together, basically. Just live, just be, just exist for a little while, work through the sadness and try and kind of end the year on a high and with a celebration by the time the new year actually does arrive. Okay, it's only been like a day or so, but things are definitely looking up. You know, you can see Charlotte still, obviously there's a bit of sadness there, but mainly happy. There you go, Daniel's energized. Tara's still feeling very sad from the pet running away. However, we have some good news with that because Honey's actually returned, so not gone long at all. And I just see that Bentley's visiting, so let's go and say hi to him. Oh, and Charles wants to come and hang out with Tara. He's just phoned her. So those two became friends before. She helped him through some of his grief. Maybe he can help her through a bit of hers as well. Bentley has been accepted into uni, so he's going to be going there in the new year for the semester that starts after Christmas, which he's very excited for. It's going to be around about the time Daniel hopes to move into his new place as well. So they're just expressing their excitement about what the future's going to hold, and that's actually made Daniel quite happy again. Well, that and working out. So yeah. And shockingly, he wants to woohoo with Bentley. But we have a lot of company over. These two are kind of just chatting, and I assume Charles is getting to know the cat, which is quite fun. But you're going to be more subtle about this, guys. You're going to just go to the shower. Maybe try to make as much noise there as you would in your grandfather's old beds. So there you go. Enjoy. Charlotte's obviously a big fan of Daniel and Bentley's relationship. She's like, so, how's things going? Tell me everything. And as you can see by the satisfaction and happiness on his face, and given what happened to them a few minutes ago, I think it's going fairly well. Oh, and Tara's actually gained some sentiments with Charles, closer from good times and happy memories. Oh, look who else is here. Vlad. I mean, the thing with vampires is they can't come in if you don't let them. So Daniel's parents are gone and everything, and they never truly found out what extent Daniel would kind of be getting himself into with his vampire supernatural life. But I still don't think he wants these guys knowing anything just yet either. So he's kind of just quite literally leaving Vlad out in the cold there. Daniel can't sleep, so he's actually reading his mum's book, Dear Daniel. Taking it all in, probably a bit of an emotional time, an emotional thing, but he does seem to kind of be getting something from it. There's a lot of affection on his face. And that probably also helps him deal with his grief and move forward and stuff. Knowing that, you know, his mother loved him so much, she kind of did this whole project for him in the last few days. Oh, and now Tara's even come to join him. I guess they're going to start a book club together. I don't know. What time even is it? Oh, it's like 9 a.m. No wonder everyone's kind of waking up. Okay, guys, just as we were kind of wrapping up on Winterfest, actually, Honey's reached the end of her lives. Now we'll pass on to a better place. So, obviously, she was getting old as well. I was scared she wasn't actually going to come back to the house when she ran away. She only had 4 days left before she passed away. I was scared she was going to be gone all that time. And then, once again, Flash has actually appeared to kind of see his friend through to the next life, just like what happened when Flash himself passed away, which is kind of nice in a way. But again, very peaceful. Honey had a very happy last few years. If you remember, she was a stray. We adopted her very spontaneously. So I don't think she had the best life prior to that, but we gave her some wonderful, wonderful final years. And she looks very peaceful there now, bless her. So, yeah, that's also it for Honey. That's, I think, all, like, our pets are gone now, very sadly. But we've loved each and every single one of them. They've been wonderful additions to the household. Winterfest successful, yes, but not really what we're going for in terms of the mood right now. But yeah, Honey was a lovely, like, unexpected addition to the house because we already had a lot going on with the dogs. But she was wonderful nonetheless. So rest in peace, Honey. You'll join the others with our many, many pets that now are over here. So there we are, just a bit of an arrangement there. So yeah, that's very, very sad. Everyone's actually still asleep. They kind of slept through that, but I actually feel like Honey she had a lot of affection, I think, for this family because obviously they took her in. And they didn't need to, they didn't have to, but they wanted to make sure she had some happy years of her life, which she did in the end. And I think that was kind of her way of repaying them, being like, you know, they've been through a lot already, they've lost a lot. I'm ready to just move on, see all my friends again that I can play with in heaven, have a bit of a laugh and run around with, just like good old Flash there running around. And they didn't need to see that. They didn't need to see me go. I was more than happy to kind of go on my own. And the Grim Reaper is watching our TV. Thanks, Grim. Okay, so it's been a little bit of time now. Another week or so. Everyone's kind of moving through their grief. It's actually New Year's Eve tomorrow. We actually had a visitor. I don't know if she's still here. But someone called Daniel and said, "Oh, can I hang out?" There she is. Raina Millard, obviously one of Rocco's younger sisters, who is actually currently pregnant with twins, no less. As we found out when she popped over, which I assume is why she came over to kind of tell them, like, "Oh, by the way, you've got some cousins on the way." So it's cool to know that she actually settled down with someone. And apparently both of Rocco's sisters are still doing fine and leading good lives, so I'm sure that was nice of Daniel to kind of hear that and catch up with them. He seems very confident, having learned all that information, so confident that, you know, his dad's family is still doing okay. And yeah, these guys have all gotten very, very close in their time living together. But with the new year approaching tomorrow, it's going to be the year everything changes, and Charlotte's actually been organising a new place in Solani where she's going to move to in the new year and retire to. So that's going to be happening. Tara's going to stay with her for a bit until, you know, the end of Charlotte's life, and then she'll return to this house. And in the meantime, Daniel's going to stay and live here and keep it kind of occupied and lived in and everything. And then when all that's said and done, he can then move in with Kai and the others. But for now, these guys are just enjoying being kind of a happy family in this house, and having moved through some grief together, it's brought them closer than they probably ever could have imagined way back when. But I'm really liking the dynamic of these three. I actually think it's been really fun to kind of play as them in the interim period since we lost all of our pets and everyone we love. But yeah, it's been really fun. So I'm looking forward to seeing how New Year's Eve's going to go tomorrow and what the new year will bring. There we go. There's Reina again. Looks ready to pop at any instant, to be honest. But yeah. Oh, she's even joining in on them playing games, which is very, very wholesome. So yeah, a very kind of happy family unit here. Ready to embrace the change that New Year's going to bring. Oh! Well, it only seems fair, doesn't it? One last episode, one last time. Daniel's just been abducted by aliens. You know, you got to give that last update to the alien overlords, I suppose. Okay, here we are on New Year's Eve, so we've got plenty of tasks to be getting on with. They're just having a chat probably about the day ahead and organising Charlotte and Tara's moving away, everything like that. So let's put up some decorations to start off the day. Oh, no, don't want to see the basement. What else do we need to do? Have a party spirit, make some resolutions, that makes sense, and a countdown to midnight. Okay. Why they're all just sat in this bedroom just talking about New Year's Eve and everything, I'm not quite sure, but you know, you do you guys. I mean, Charlotte's literally just singing to herself, so I think they've all lost it. So these two are still just chatting about the new year and everything, and Tara moving away to Sulani. She's kind of looking forward to it. She's still a bit scared because she's not sure if the island life is really for her, living on like a desert island like that. But she's more being there so she can be around her mum in like her final years and stuff, which Daniel fully gets. And he's like, you know, this house is going to be here when you're ready for it. But make sure you kind of keep in touch and everything, and look after yourselves. Make sure that Charlotte has an amazing last few years. And after that, you know, the world is whatever we're going to make it. And hopefully we can rely on each other for support and everything that we do in the future. And I'm sure Tara's very happy to hear that kind of prospect. And I'm sure she'll appreciate that coming from her cousin. So yeah, these two I'm sure will be staying quite close in years to come. Oh, Charlotte brought everyone drinks. So they're all just kind of sharing some drinks together as they celebrate the new year coming in. I mean, it's only 1 PM, and looks like Daniel's sick, so let's all do him some medicine. But yeah, still kind of early in the day, but I guess it's 5 o'clock somewhere, so they're getting started, which is fair enough. Oh, Charles wants to come over and hang out again, so we can allow that. He wants to probably wish people a happy new year before the celebrations truly kick off. I'm glad that Tara's kind of made a close friend in Charles and made a few friends at school as well. She's got an order, so when she goes off to live her life, we know she's not going to be like entirely alone. And obviously Daniel will be quite literally staying quite close by her side as he literally walks over to help out and introduce himself to Charles. But yeah, I like that Tara's kind of found a life for herself in some people outside of the family. There we go. New Year's Eve TV is officially on. Everyone's kind of settling down. It's nearly 10 PM. Look at a new year over Brindleton Bay is kind of arising. A year anew, so full of possibility. Who knows what's going to happen to everyone in this next year or so. Definitely a big year of change and a big year for these guys though. Okay, here we go. It's time to count down to the new year. Everyone's kind of getting into the spirit of it. Half an hour until the new year, but they're just kind of doing the countdown now. And there we go, 12 AM. Ah, these two are hugging, that's very wholesome. So yeah, they're just wishing each other a very happy new year. Unfortunately, Bentley had to spend New Year's Eve with his family, so Daniel doesn't have anyone to hug or kiss. So it's like, yeah, go me, new year. But yeah, don't tell me you're ill again. You are? Well, that's a terrible start to the new year. Let's get that fixed right away. So these guys have all kind of come outside just to pay their last respects to all the loved ones that they've lost over the years, because in the morning Charlotte and Tara are going to be heading off to Sulani for their new home, so Charlotte can kind of live the rest of her life in a place where she really loves, and a place where she spent a lot of time working as a diver as well. So I think they're just kind of thanking each other for the support that they've gotten through each other, all their grief recently, and they'll never forget it. And just kind of reiterating, I think, how much they've grown to mean to each other. And it all kind of could begin because of these guys right here, Alfonso and Jay. And then that led to the twins being born, and then marrying Rocco, all the pets that we'd kind of taken along the journey as well. Really became something special, and I don't think anyone's going to forget that. And football, because why should I have to include and try and force every single animation this game provides me into a narrative? I don't. They're playing football. Oh, there we go. Reina just had one male baby and one female baby with Jackson Delgato. So she just gave birth on New Year's Day, which is kind of nice. And it's now spring, as these guys kind of have one last sleep in this house. At least for Charlotte and Tara. Daniel's still staying here for a bit longer. But yeah, in the morning they head off to Solani. But that's naturally not the only goodbye that Daniel has to say today, because he's getting up a bit earlier, because Bentley's actually coming over to visit to say goodbye, because he's heading off to uni. He's going to move to uni, get settled in for a few weeks before the semester starts. So yeah, we need to get him over and say goodbye to him. So just saying, obviously being a bit more long distance is going to be scary, but we're going to get through it. We're going to FaceTime each other all the time. We're going to text and call each other all the time. You're going to go off and live in your new place, which I'm sure is going to be really exciting. I'm going to have a new place for my own that I'm living with at uni as well, studying something I love. And of course I'm going to be visiting you all the time. So we're absolutely going to make it work. Reading his mind, I guess, to make sure that he's telling the truth. And Bentley is very much meaningful and sincere in what he's saying, so that's good. Didn't really need to do that, Daniel, but thank you anyway. So yeah, just kind of reiterating that they love each other, they're going to make it work. But Daniel was making a point like, well, if you're going to visit me, make sure you kind of give me some warning in advance, because you never know, I might need to get things ready, I might just leave my room in a mess, so I need to get it tidy before you come, which is kind of code for I need to maybe hide some supernatural stuff away from you if I haven't told you by then exactly where I'm living and who I'm living with. And now he's just saying goodbye to Charlotte and Tara. Tara's off getting ready. Bentley needs to go as well. He's heading off to uni. But yeah, again, just thanking each other for the support they've provided recently and all their shared losses. They're going to keep in touch and everything. But Charlotte's just saying, your Uncle Leo was so proud of you. Your parents were so proud of you. And I know you're going to go on to do great things. And when my time comes, I'll tell them all that you said hello and to pass on your love, which I think Daniel very much appreciates. However, it is time to move to pastures new. So Solani is awaiting. So Charlotte and Tara over there just having a nice swim in their pretty damn beautiful new home. Obviously it's kind of a shared island with some other people, but their house is up there. And yeah, these two are just enjoying a swim, living a peaceful life where they stay for quite some time, obviously. Charlotte enjoys the rest of her life here peacefully, floating around, retired, living her best life, going to bars, making some friends there, having a few drinks, needing to be in bed by like 9 p.m. And Tara just kind of getting on with her schoolwork here, having to transfer somewhere else, but she stays in touch with all the friends she'd already made, of course, knowing that one day she'll kind of end up back in Brindleton Bay. But yeah, these two just spend a hell of a lot of time in each other's company, just enjoying the sun, enjoying the sea, enjoying a wonderful, peaceful life. So as more time passes, Tara is now actually a young adult. She's aged up a bit, kind of kept her appearance fairly the same, but she's a bit more mature now and everything. She's finished school. She completely smashed it, top grades and everything, bright future ahead of her. She's just kind of considering what uni she's going to go to now, exactly what's going to be happening with all that. And yeah, Charlotte's just living a quiet, peaceful life, just like she kind of wanted for herself after Leo passed away. She does miss him dearly, and as more and more time goes on, she kind of misses that company more and more, misses the friends she kind of was always surrounded with, misses having pets around. She always loved having pets, but she didn't think it's kind of fair to get any new ones in her older age, because she'd probably end up having to leave them behind. But yeah, they just spend a nice peaceful time together for quite a while in Solani, just having a really lovely kind of experience together. until inevitably one day, Charlotte's body's like, you know what, you've had your time. I'm ready now. She was ready to see her husband again. She's ready to see her friends and her family, her pets again. And Charlotte very, very peacefully passes away in a house that she grew to really love in Sulani, that she found a lot of solace in on an island that she spent a lot of her time working on, that she absolutely loved. She felt so connected to it. But it was her time to go. So yeah, as sad as that clearly makes Tara, to see her mum kind of pass away, she had been preparing herself for it ever since they moved to Sulani. And again, she'll find some comfort, I'm sure, through Daniel, through her friends, and knowing that her mum is with her dad again now. So yeah, while they had a lovely time in Sulani together for a good while, it was more so Charlotte's dream and her vision than Tara's. So she's now ready to, take her mum back to the Jalfonso house, bury her there alongside her father, and see what happens next in life, and kind of make the world her own now. So now these two are kind of comforting each other, Tara having moved back to the Jalfonso house, and yeah, Charlotte's now joined all the other loved ones that we've lost. So once again, they're like, I can't believe we have to do this all over again, go through all this loss and everything. But I think Tara's kind of saying, this is the last bit of loss I think either of us are going to experience for quite some time now. We've gone through it so many times before, we can push through that pain again. It's made us stronger, better people. And now we have the whole world ahead of us, our whole lives in front of us to do whatever the hell we want to do. And Daniel's kind of saying, well, I know what I'm doing. I'm kind of leaving this place. I'm going to leave Brindleton Bay. I've got a room to finally rent out. And they've been waiting on me for a little while to kind of move there while you've been away in Sulani for quite a while. But they've been more than patient with me. Now I think it is time to kind of go and explore that new avenue of my life and hope it really works out. And Tara's going to wish him all the best for that, and making sure I will visit from time to time, make sure we stay in touch and everything. And Daniel's like, that would be nice, and I feel like maybe you could fit in there, because let's just say I am living with some interesting characters at that place. So I think Tara's kind of intrigued by that. She's not going to press it too much further. She knows it's not her business unless Daniel wants to tell her that just yet. And I guess he's kind of asking her, so what are you going to do next? And I think Tara is still kind of unsure. Oh, is that her friend? It is, it's Charles. Hello, Charles. Oh, that was good timing. She was kind of saying, well, I'm going to reconnect with all my friends that I haven't seen in a while since I've been living in Sulani. And she's already started on that goal, so that's pretty damn good. I'm going to explore a job and a career that I really love and see where that takes me, see what I'm going to be doing with that. And yeah, just find my path, find my way, make everyone that we've had to say goodbye to proud. It's just kind of like, well, we're the last two left in our family, really. The whole thing that kind of started when Grandpa Alfonso was sent down from Sixham all those years ago, and look what kind of came from it. And so I was kind of asking, what do you think Grandpa Alfonso would kind of be thinking of all this now, if he was still around, and if Jay was still here as well, if our parents were still here? And Daniel's like, well, I think they'd think I'm bonkers for going off to do what I'm going to do, but I know for sure they'd be very proud of you. Either going to uni, getting a job, whatever it is you want to do. But he's kind of thinking to himself, oh, he's literally gotten out. Oh my god, I didn't even tell him to do that, but he's actually picked out Dear Daniel from the bookshelf. Oh my god, that's perfect. He's just kind of, I guess that's got him reminiscing about his mum, all the family that he's lost. He's kind of thinking, well, one day I'll know for sure if we've made them proud, because we'll see them again one day. So he's just reading Dear Daniel as that reminder to keep going forward. Things are going to be all right. Own whatever it is you're doing with your future. I think he'd even pass on that message to Tara as well. So with his mother's words kind of inspiring him there, I think he's ready to kind of move out of here, move out of Brindleton Bay, where he spent a lot of his life, move on to pastures new, see what awaits him and his brand new supernatural adventure. While Tara, still very sad right now, but she will push through that as she always does, because a very strong person, just like Daniel. They're going to push through it, and she's going to tackle the world, find her own way, do something incredible, I'm sure. Oh my god, there's Honey's ghost just popping around then. I'm sure Tara will get used to seeing some of the spirits of their loved ones still popping up in this house, because, you know, everyone we've lost is still very much ingrained in this place, I think, especially because, you know, it's their final resting places now. All those wonderful people that we've made across these past 50 episodes. Even the ghost of Apollo is there having a nap. So yeah, even if nothing else had happened and all the other achievements hadn't happened, I think Alfonso being sent down to Earth all those years ago, ultimately leading to, you know, Tara and Daniel and all the wonderful things they're evidently and inevitably going to do with their lives. I think that was all worth it. I'm sure Alfonso would be very proud of that. So yeah, there we have it. Tara is going to be living here. She may ask some friends to move in with her, maybe, just so she's not completely on her own. And we'll see what she wants to do. We're going to kind of leave her to it. We're going to continue on with the spin-off, but things will be happening in the background. So if, you know, she gets married or whatever, we'll kind of know about it, and we can check in. I'm sure she'll show up in the spin-off at some point. And yeah, Daniel is also moving on to brand new things, and hopefully a very exciting, interesting spin-off that you guys are going to be excited to check out. I'm very excited to get into it. I think there's going to be some really cool stuff in that. I've got some interesting stories planned, but that is another story entirely. This one, it's kind of ended with these two cousins with a whole life ahead of them and a lot of memories of loved ones. That story's kind of coming to an end right now. You see, there we go. He's just become happy again. So he's just kind of been hit with that realization once again, as he always does when he kind of pushes through the grief of losing someone, that everything's going to be all right, just like his mother said in that book, Dear Daniel. So he's very much taken that to heart. So yeah, as both these two kind of move on to the next stages of their lives and say goodbye to this current one, they are going to very much carry with them every single person here, all the memories of them, all the good times, all the bad times, the ups and downs, the trials and tribulations, the alien abductions, the spaceship crashes, all of that stuff will always be part of them, and they will carry that with them. And all thanks to little old Alfonso Sheets being sent down on a little mission of his own all those years ago. I think it's fairly safe to say, Alfonso, you did a damn good job, buddy. So well done. And that, my friends, is going to be everything for this main series of The Sims 4. Thank you for all your support, your love, your likes, your comments on this series. I've had an absolute blast doing it. I've had a blast doing the spin-off about Leo at university as well. And hopefully you guys will be very interested in seeing Daniel's story continue, in particular in The Sims 4 Supernatural. Hopefully you'll be interested in that and check that out. But yeah, it's been amazing doing this kind of 50 episode story. I've had a real blast with it. Stressful at times, a lot of editing that I did not realise when I kind of started all this off, but worth it in the end to tell some really cool stories, I think, anyway. So yeah, I hope even if you've got the slightest bit of enjoyment out of one of these at some point, I think that's kind of worth it, and I really hope you have enjoyed this series, and we'll go on to enjoy the next one whenever that comes along. It'll be very, very soon, not long of a wait at all, probably just like the length of the wait between a normal Sims episode before we kick off that series. But yeah, that's kind of everything to say about this house that we've spent so long in, the people inside it and their stories that will continue, and all these folks that we lost during the course of these 50 episodes. Yeah, I've grown very attached to all of these Sims. Obviously getting to tell my own stories through them has been really, really fun. I look forward to continuing to do that in the future series that we do. But for now, that is it for all those guys. We will be seeing Daniel and Tara again, without a doubt. But those guys and their legacy that they've kind of carried through these 50 episodes is something that I'm very proud of, and hopefully you guys have really enjoyed. So thank you for all your support on this series. And yeah, I guess if you're sticking around for The Sims 4 Supernatural, I will see you when episode 1 of that kicks off. But if that's not to your taste, then that's fair enough, and you just want to, you were only here for this series. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed the ride, and goodbye.